Okay, good eating habits from 1951. Maybe this will give us some insight into why the Queen for a Day show and other 1950s shows had so many laxative commercials. Let's see if bad eating habits in the 50s are the cause of so much stoppage.
It's fun to eat supper with your family, especially when there is good food on the table. Strong, healthy bodies. They are good.
Is this just a thing full of eggs? Is this just a thing full of, like, boiled eggs? Jesus Christ! Their cholesterol must be bananas!
Good foods to eat. Father is certainly enjoying his supper. So is Carol. So is Mother. Just
Weird cuts.
look at that plate.
Okay, so we got some... I'm assuming this is toast and not just bread. I could be wrong, though. Some sort of chopped... Probably a chopped vegetable is hard to see. And then some sort of meat that they've put mashed potatoes on.
Aren't you feeling well, Bill? Aren't you hungry? What can be the matter? After supper, it's fun to play a while before bed. But there's still something wrong, isn't there, Bill? In a moment, you'll know what it is. Yes, Bill, you're getting a stomachache.
Buy X-Lax. It'll help smooth over. Looks like green peas. Okay.
You have a stomachache, it isn't any fun to play. There it is again. Poor Bill. What now? We'll soon know, because here comes Mother.
Why is Bill sitting in his room at 9 at night with a shirt buttoned all the way up to the top button? Bill, maybe breathe a little. Take it down a couple buttons. My God. Is he still wearing a belt, too? Is he wearing a belt in his own room with a tucked-in shirt at like 9 p.m.?
Mother can tell right away that Bill isn't feeling well.
There's
So,
nothing funny about the
what
tools
happens
of
next?
capitalism.
Don't make me send you the self-care and grooming PSA. I mean, feel free.
Yes, Bill's put to bed to get some rest. Now, why does Bill have a stomachache? He didn't eat anything bad today, did he? Well, perhaps it wasn't what he ate, but the way he ate
Why do conservatives want to go back to these times again? You know why.
it. Why, even this morning, Mother was a little worried. Let's go back to this morning and see how Bill's stomachache might have happened. Bill wasn't at breakfast on time this morning. You see, he didn't get up when Father first called him. Oh, Bill got to the table, and he ate his breakfast, or rather, part of it. Orange juice, one big gulp of it. Milk for the cereal, splash it on.
Orange juice and milk. Doesn't sound like a good combo.
No time to waste.
There's nothing funny
Gobble.
about the tools of capitalism.
MMO addicted with 10 bits. First, the oddly not terrible dieting PSA, and here's the grooming PSA. Okay, I'll put these in the wings for later.
Down the cereal,
Thank
a
you.
couple of big spoonfuls, one right after the other.
Ooh, that's like really wet. Is it oatmeal? That's some really, really wet oatmeal. I don't want my oatmeal to be that moist.
But leave most of it. Now for the eggs. More good, healthful food. But what about Bill's eating habits? Into his mouth went some egg. Right away, a big bite of toast. And there was some bacon, so he stuffed in
There's
part of
nothing
that.
funny about the tools of capitalism.
MMO addicted with 10 bits. He was late, so it got super soggy. I don't think eating really fast at like 9 in the morning or 8 in the morning is going to give you a stomach ache at like 9 p.m. If you're gonna get a stomach ache from that, you would have gotten it way earlier in the day.
And then, just one big splash of milk.
Maybe it's just me. I've never had an issue where I eat very fast. I do. I even slow myself down around other people, but like I eat very, very quickly, typically, and I've never had stomach issues because of it.
And Bill was off to school. Well, he caught up with his family, and he beat them through breakfast. But he ate so fast. And do you think he ate enough?
I don't think the issue was that he didn't eat enough. He drank orange juice, milk, bacon, toast, eggs, and oatmeal, or cream of wheat or something. Like some sort of, you know... I think he's fine.
At lunchtime, Bill had some fine sandwiches. He also had money to buy soup. But he didn't want to stand in line for soup.
Well, golly, I got enough pocket change for soup, fellas.
He was in a hurry to go out and play. So, how did Bill eat his lunch?
Their lunchtime is the same time as their recess
There's nothing
time.
funny about the tools of capitalism.
The Meru Sama, thank you for subscribing with a 5-month streak. This is a thing.
Watch.
Oh, God.
After school, of course, Bill was hungry. He was hungry, and he had some money. So, but did Bill leave his pop and candy only half
Soda!
eaten? No, sir. He emptied that pop bottle as fast as he could.
I feel like the person who wrote this
There's nothing
PSA
funny
would be
about the tools of
disgusted by the
capitalism.
amount of soda Americans drink in 2020. MMO addicted with 10 bits, and nowadays Bill is a speed-eating champion.
He gobbled down all his candy.
Is he just throwing the trash, like, on the ground? What a dick. Can we do this is supposed to be a PSA. Maybe also be like a don't throw your trash on the ground.
And, as if that wasn't enough, he ate some cookies, too. Then Bill didn't feel hungry anymore. No, sir. For once, he had eaten too much. At supper time, Bill still felt full. So he didn't hurry with his supper. He just poked at it. He was tired. And he just didn't have any appetite. Bill didn't know it, but he was already beginning to be sick. Well, Bill, now you know what might have caused your stomach ache. Why you feel so bad. Why you'll have to stay in bed until you feel better. You see, you hurried so all day long. You rushed through your meals and didn't eat enough good food. And then, in the afternoon, all those sweets. They filled your stomach and didn't leave room for any of the foods you need. In fact, Bill, you mistreated your stomach all day long. No wonder you have a stomach ache. How is it this morning, Bill? Feel better? Think you know now about good eating habits?
There's nothing funny
Downstairs
about
in
the
time.
tools of capitalism.
Antipodian Squid with 10 bits. You heard it here first, kids. Eating sweets gives you a stomach ache so bad you'll look like you're on your deathbed. True.
Time for breakfast. Give yourself time to eat a good breakfast. Let's see how well you can eat.
What are the chances that this was partially sponsored by the Dairy Farmers of America, the organization?
That's right. Drink your juice a little at a time. Doesn't it taste good? You just never took time before to find how good food can taste. Mother's pleased and proud. We're off to a good start this morning. But will it last? Will you remember to eat the right way?
What context was this shown in? Like, did they just show this to an entire class? Like, why is this such an epidemic of a problem that you have to teach kids how to eat? Like a normal human being? MMO addicted with 10 bits. That's McDonald's, KFC, Pizza Hut for me. They make me suffer for hours, but are also the thing I eat when I am super depressed because it reminds me of better times. Yikes. I feel ya.
Uh-oh. Almost washed your food down. Before you take a drink, chew your food well and swallow it. Now you're eating pretty well. Will you do as well with the bacon and eggs and toast? Chew your toast.
Why are they... He's both eating like a bowl of oatmeal or cream of wheat or something, whatever it is, and then he's eating like eggs and toast and bacon. He's eating 2 breakfasts.
Thoroughly. That's the...
He probably has a stomachache because his family is feeding him 2 breakfasts every morning.
way. Chew and chew. Doesn't it taste extra good that way? What about that bacon?
And they're giving him orange juice and milk. Like, what is this portion size? What is going on?
Well, maybe there are better ways to cut it. But when you eat it in small bits, you can chew it
Little bits.
better. It
There's nothing
tastes
funny
so
about the
good,
tools of
you
capitalism.
It's the oats or the rectal dilator, Hannah. Gotta keep constipation away.
want to eat.
No, they do eat lunch at school. He ate lunch at school in this PSA, so he's eating a giant double breakfast with double beverage, then going and eating lunch at school, and then he's coming home and eating dinner.
Every bite. Breakfast is more fun this way, isn't it? Well, Bill, plenty of time to get to school today. And in class, studying seems easier. What? 11 o'clock? Usually you're mighty hungry by this time. Today, you feel fine. Lunchtime is another time to practice good eating habits. Eat slowly and chew thoroughly.
The Heimlich maneuver won't be invented for another 20 or 30 years, so if you start choking, you're done.
Finish all your food. Later on, drink lots of water. After school, that's the idea, Bill. A good snack of crackers and milk at home. That's the good kind of food if you're hungry after...
Like graham crackers, I could kind of see that combo. God, they drink a lot of milk. Why are they drinking so much milk?
After school. And then play. Hard play. Plenty of pep now. Yesterday's stomach ache is forgotten. At supper time, you're hungry again. Everything tastes good, and you're eating well.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
MMO addicted with 10 bits. Remember, drink from the good fountain for the white people, not the other one, Billy. I think that was an issue at the time. It was the 50s, yeah. Querulous artisan with 10 bits. Me at this narrator. You can't tell me what to do. You're not my real dad.
See what good eating habits can do for you? Looking for seconds.
Antipodian squid,
There's
eat all
nothing
your
funny
food.
about the tools
Mate,
of
I couldn't
capitalism.
eat all that kid's breakfast, and if I did, I wouldn't need to eat again all day. Yeah. The idea of, like, eating everything that's on your plate, regardless of whether you're full or not, is a very unhealthy, outdated view. And I kind of understand where it's coming from, like, in the 50s. Food, has gotten cheaper over time. As mass industrialized food industries have gotten bigger, food has gotten cheaper, and we can talk all about, like, the bad conditions for, like, animals and stuff, and yeah, that's totally a thing. But I'm strictly talking about it's gotten cheaper over time. So if you threw out, half your breakfast, that's a lot of money you're throwing away in the 1950s, and your parents are probably going to be mad about that. So it was more like a waste and economic concern than it was a health concern, and probably a lot of the reason America has such, like, a weight issue, because this was such a part of the culture for so long, to be like, just eat everything on your plate, regardless of whether or not you're full, you finish it. There are kids starving in China, which is, an old cliche that people used to say. So, yeah, very unhealthy. Very, very unhealthy.
After supper, you feel fine. No stomach ache.
Mother's fault for cooking too much. I don't think a single parent in the 1950s would ever take blame for something.
Tools of capitalism.
MMO addicted, 10 bits. My mom used to use my overgrown sense of empathy when I was a small child. Eat these dumplings, dear. You ate their friends, and they'll be sad if you don't eat them as well. That's messed up.
Not too tired, not hungry.
There's nothing funny
Just
about the
feeling
tools of
fine.
capitalism.
And that...
I guess that's the end of the film reel that we have available. That's funny. Querulous Artisan with 10 bits. The whole eat your entire plate, even if you're full, was pushed on me by my egg donor, and now I have issues with overeating because I don't have a signal that tells me I'm full unless I'm so full it hurts. Yeah. That can be rough. I know this from experience. Again, I'm on I'm trying to regulate my eating habits. I'm down like 30 pounds. I'm doing a pretty good job. But, like, I've had this experience before too. When you're used to overeating, your body doesn't know how to get the signal, like, okay, that's enough food. It's not about being stuffed where you literally can't eat anymore. It's just about not having the I'm hungry, signal anymore. You don't necessarily have to feel stuffed. You just need to feel satisfied and not feel like you're hungry anymore. But if you're not trained to do that because of bad eating habits, whether that comes from, like, your parents or if it's just something you taught yourself to do, it's hard to get out of that. But you can do it, and once you do, it's much easier once you actually, like, tune yourself into more reasonable signaling from your body. But that was an interesting one. I guess it was a big enough issue that people had to, tell their kids, don't eat too fast, Johnny, and also here, eat these 2 breakfasts. All right. Dairy farmers of America are the winners in this one, I think. MMO addicted with 10 bits. She did her best. In her childhood, she was often going days without any food, so she always wanted me to have plenty and worried about it. I realized it was not good, but it wasn't malicious, yeah. I imagine that applied to a lot of people who were parents in the early 50s, too, because of, like, the Depression and the war and a bunch of other factors. Like, my grandparents who were alive during, they wouldn't have been alive during the Great Depression, but they were alive during World War II, and I don't know, I don't know the economic situation, but they've been through enough that they compulsively save things that you probably shouldn't have to, in this day and age. Recycling's good, but, like, they reuse things that you typically wouldn't reuse, And I think they just learned that from different parts in their life when it was more relevant. The weight loss one or the how to be well groomed one? What do you guys think? We'll do a poll, actually. Let me do a poll real quick. Okay, vote in this poll. It's only a minute. Vote. Vote! Rationing in World War II, which is why a lot of old people hang on to that stuff. Sure. Weight loss is winning. About halfway through the poll. Make sure you vote. Yeah, we can keep that vote emote even after November. Because we do polls and stuff now. That would make sense. It's demons that cause overeating. It's always demons. They have a very busy schedule, causing all of America's ills. Only America's, though, I guess. The rest of the world doesn't exist. Okay, looks like the weight loss PSA is going to win. So, coolio. We'll do that. Okay, here is a 1950s overweight and healthy diet PSA called Cheers for Chubby. So, potential warning to anyone who, you know, doesn't want to be demeaned for having an unhealthy relationship with food. Like I said, I'm on a diet. I'm 30 pounds down. Yeah, it's unhealthy to be overweight, and it's good to change that. Shaming people, not a great tactic. I'm not sure how this is going to go, but I hope it's entertaining at the very least. Oh, my right ear loves this. Oh god, I just knocked over all my tin foil.
This is the story of Chubby Avoirdupois. Chubby started out in life as a chubby little fellow with a hearty
There's
appetite.
nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
MMO Addicted with 10 bits. There's a bit of shaming at the beginning, but it's surprisingly wholesome in parts overall. I came in expecting way worse. Okay.
As he grew, so did his food.
Are they gonna do tuba music? Or are they gonna do that, like, fat guy tuba thing? Bum, ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-ba-ba-da-bum. Oh, I had a nightmare last night, guys. Okay. So, stress stream would probably be a better description. So I was in band in high school, and I was really bad. I was really, really bad at it. We had a terrible teacher who got removed at some point, and I had already left band by that point, but they got removed because they were a bad teacher. And I was put on tuba, and I didn't know how to play tuba. So I just randomly, you know, would play, you know, notes and stuff. And in the dream, I was still part of band when the new teacher came in. And I was playing, you know, random notes on the tuba, and they noticed. The old teacher in real life never noticed, or at least never said anything about it. So, like, he's like, you, play the thing. And I was like, oh, God. I've been called out for my tuba shenanigans.
Knees. But that was all right. He was growing, especially lengthwise. As a matter of fact...
What instrument do I play? Trumpet. I could play the trumpet a little bit, but I was never good at it.
Chubby was quite an athlete in his high school days.
Then they switched me over to tuba. I wasn't a fan.
In track, in football, and at the school prom. And he was the most popular lifeguard on the beach, always ready to rescue a damsel in distress.
Why would they put me on tuba? Because they needed someone to play tuba. I don't know. They're both brass instruments.
And as his reward, she married him. And they lived happily for a while. Mrs. Chubby was a good cook and fed him well, perhaps too well. Chubby started growing again, this time sideways. And the same thing happened to slim, attractive Mrs. Chubby. And the more they ate, the bigger they got. And the bigger they got, the more they ate. Chubby didn't notice it at first until his suits began to shrink. And Mrs. Chubby found that they were making dresses in much smaller sizes than they used to.
That's so mean! For those who didn't see, the sign was awnings, implying that only, like, an awning would fit her. She's so big. That's pretty mean.
The doors on automobiles were getting smaller. And
You would have to be so fat to not fit in a car door.
something always seemed to be wrong with the scales.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
We're nearing the end of the mean part. All right.
Remembering how they used to look, Chubby and his wife decide to try to reduce. But how? Chubby tried exercise, which was kind of dangerous in his condition. And what Chubby didn't know was that actually he'd have to run 36 miles to take off a single pound of fat.
Eat less. Eat less food.
Mrs. Chubby tried massage, but that didn't seem to work either.
Yeah, because that's not a weight loss anything. That doesn't help at all.
They tried fancy fads and cure-alls and learned that they're apt to be a bit dangerous. And so Chubby and his wife decide on a sensible thing to do. They visit their family doctor.
It's the doctor's. He's Dr. Fat. His name is Dr. Fat.
There's
Only a
nothing funny
physician
about the tools of capitalism.
People still thought it worked at the time. Yeah.
is qualified to decide how much weight one should lose and over what period of time. And for Mrs. Chubby, as for most people, what they weighed at 25 to 30 is about what they should weigh the rest of their lives. As Chubby's doctor knows, there's a close relation between overweight and health. The longer the belt line, the shorter the lifeline.
Yeah.
Overweight people are more apt to develop such diseases as diabetes and heart trouble and die younger than those whose weight is...
I wonder why old people say it like diabetes, but like younger people say diabetes. That's a weird thing. You notice that? Wilford Brimley did that too in his like diabetes things. Like, I'm Wilford Brimley. I'm here to talk to you about diabetes. I lost my foot and I made a new one out of oats. Like no one. Why did it say diabetes? I don't know.
is normal. And as for Chubby's waistline, the trouble is he eats too much. The human body is a machine which uses food for fuel.
Oh, not only was he Dr. Fat, he's Dr. YB Fat. I didn't notice.
When you eat just enough food to supply the energy you need...
Oh, good. They're actually going to do like, oh, you know, calories in, calories out. Make sure you're don't eat more calories than you're burning in a day and you won't gain weight. And if you want to lose weight, you got to eat fewer calories than you're burning in a day. Okay, cool.
Your weight stays the same, but when you eat more than you burn up in energy, the rest is stored as fat. Energy is measured in calories. But if you reduce the number of calories, the body is called on to use up its stored fat, and you take off weight. But simply...
MMO Addicted says, yep, good part starts now, and it surprised me. Oh, I'm good, I'm
starving
glad.
yourself won't do it. You must have essential foods. Rich in protein.
Oh, good, and they're gonna be like, yeah, hit your macros. Like, don't starve yourself. Okay,
And
good.
vitamins and minerals for building, renewing, and repairing the human machine. That's why the doctor gives you a balanced diet. Not too many calories, but all the foods you need. He will tell you what you should eat, but you've got to work at it. Getting together with a group of other overweight people helps. The diet didn't look so bad at that. There were lots of things that Chubby and his wife liked to eat. Lean meats, and fish, and chicken, and vegetables, and fruits, and milk, and enriched or whole grain bread, and eggs. Well, this looks...
Was 2% milk popular in the 50s, or were they straight up downing whole milk on the daily? I'm curious. When did 2% milk, like, become the norm? I feel like they were probably drinking whole milk back then.
It's easy, almost too easy, especially with a device Chubby invented in his spare time. Chubby watched his calorie counter and passed up the high-calorie foods and picked the things called for on his diet, nourishing but not fattening. Now there's a nice, sensible meal. A slice of lean meat, a baked potato with a pat of butter, salad, a glass of milk, and strawberries. Uh-oh.
What? None of these food-based things ever say to drink water. You notice that? It's all milk. Was milk the primary beverage of people in the 50s? That would explain some of the constipation, probably, if they weren't drinking water and were just downing whole milk. Like 8-ounce glass after 8-ounce glass every day.
What's this? Yes, when you have gravy, you find those old devils'
There's nothing
hidden
funny about
calories.
the tools of capitalism.
Chubby's getting in trouble again.
And the farmer's lobby. Yeah.
He's ignoring the hidden calories in those extras you add to your diet.
Have some more butter. Oh, make it 3. Just a couple of spoons. Go ahead, pour it on.
Oh, God.
Meanwhile, Mrs. Chubby is finishing a light lunch with ice cream, which is all right. But
Have a little chocolate syrup. You deserve it. That whipped cream looks delicious. That's it. Shoot the works. Wait till she gets on those scales.
There's nothing funny about
both
the
Chubby
tools
and
of
Mrs. Chubby.
capitalism.
This is how this now feels like a chick tract. A little bit.
They find they can fool themselves, but not the scales. And they take a pledge to stick to their diet.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
This part is my favorite. It's fine to
It
treat
wasn't
yourself
quick
from
or
time to
easy.
time as long as you do it
took
responsibly.
willpower and
Yeah.
determination to resist temptation and develop and stick to a new set of eating habits. Chubby found one exercise that helped. That was shaking his head as second helpings. And the best exercise of all, pushing oneself away from the table. In time, the results began to show. They looked better and felt better. They'd reduce. They stuck to their diet and stayed reduced. It wasn't too easy, but it was worthwhile. Many a time they realized it would have been much smarter never to have gotten fat in the first place. Their old friend the scale was happy too. The only buttons Chubby ever pops anymore are those of pride. And as for Mrs. Chubby, once again, she was the belle of the ball.
I give up. Let's look for another victim. There's somebody.
Okay. That was better than I thought it would be, all things considered. A little pokey fun at the beginning, but it's the 50s, so, like, that I expect that. But yeah, good advice overall, mostly, other than, like, the obsession with drinking whole milk. Like, if you're on a diet, probably don't drink a bunch of whole milk for no reason. Just drink water. Water's good for you, it hydrates you, and it is 0 calories. And nowadays, if you do want something like that has a flavor or something, there's like diet soda, or you could get some like light juice that doesn't have added sugar. Like, lots of options. If you're on a diet, I would not suggest you drink whole milk every night. I feel like that's very caloric. Let me look at, what are the calories of whole milk? Whole
There's
milk
nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
calories. Dun, 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 dun. Calories in whole milk. Tablespoons. Let's say a 8-ounce cup. Where's the calories? 146 calories for an 8-ounce glass of milk. Well, better than I thought it would be, but that's still... Nah. Just drink water, fam. Anyway, that wasn't too bad. Not enough lead in water. Logarth started a message that said I had gastric surgery and whatever. Oh, whole milk was on the okay list? Okay, gotcha. What else? I'm sure they want people, because, like, once you get gastric, I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to drink, like, soda. because it like the carbonation can expand, you know. It's gaseous and can expand your stomach, so they don't want you drinking like carbonated stuff. My mom had gastric, so.
Body had been found.
There's nothing funny about the tools.
Ammo addicted with 10 bits. They started to separate milk at the beginning of the 20th century. Okay. Okay, cool. Telephone courtesy. Going steady. There's so many, it's tough to pick. I don't know. Do you guys see any that you think look particularly good? I don't know how well you can read this in fairness, but... Grooming one? Okay, we can do the grooming one. So this is from 1949. It's actually a little bit before the 50s. How to be well groomed. Let's see how the 1950s said to be well groomed. Speaking of which, did I mention this earlier? I have my first appointment with the electrolysis Saturday. I think it's just like a consult, but after that I should start to be able to get rid of this disgusting facial hair that I hate. Oh, one more thing. Someone has a sex madness. It's like reefer madness. No way.
Well, Sue, where are you?
In my room, Don.
Joe called. He said he'd be a little late. Say, do you look smooth?
Why,
Are these two brother and sister, are they supposed to be married? Because they look like they're so young.
thank you, sir.
MMO addicted with 10 bit. Surprisingly wholesome bit of this PSA. Dividing chores. Also, the supple you polish all our shoes. I wish even nowadays more people were like that instead of the woman should clean everything. Yeah. They're supposed to be married. These two look like they're 18. Oh my god.
You look mighty elegant yourself, if I may say so.
Yes, indeed.
Look at these two! Oh my god! This guy looks like he should be making TikTok videos, not being married and going out to the plant to, you know, work 9 hours a day. Thank you, Beelzebub, for the bits.
Both Don and Sue look like the kind of people you'd like to know, don't they? Of course, right now, they're dressed for their Friday dates. But don't you have the feeling that they're always well-groomed?
Yes, and that's no accident. For Don and Sue, the question, how do I look, depends on good grooming habits. Health, posture, cleanliness, and neatness, plus a daily routine of little finishing touches. Take last night, for example. On weeknights when there are no dates, plenty of time to do little things that make for a well-groomed appearance.
They're married and he's wearing a Letterman jacket. That's not something I tend to associate with adulthood. Or at least not, you know, unless it's a really, really pathetic adulthood.
Hey, sis, haven't you finished with that iron yet?
You can have it in just a minute. Haven't you got anything else to do? Don, what are you doing in my sewing box?
Well, there's a loose button here.
Oh, all right. I'll fix it for you.
I like that he was at least, it seemed like he was attempting to do it himself. That's kind of nice. I feel like a lot of 1950s, like, PSAs or people wouldn't even pretend.
That is, if you polish
Nothing
my...
funny about the tools of capitalism.
Oh, are they siblings? Okay. That's weird. Are they living together? Are they, like, college roommates and they, like, rented a house? It's not very clear. Anyway. Correction, they're siblings. Okay. Logarth. Haha, my wife and I go gremlin mode if we have to go out. Hoodies, sunglasses, pajama pants, and slippers. You know, maybe it's just, You know what? Never mind that joke. It was gonna be about, a joke about, let's just say pornography that Jeremy is into. Did you know that about Jeremy? In a video, he talked about how he was into step-sibling porn. Anyway.
My shoes.
I don't know, and anything I think of is very inappropriate and disturbing. Same.
Well, I guess it's a deal. I have to polish my own. I might as well.
Aw, thanks.
Clothes pressed and mended. Shoes polished. These are a few of the habits with which Don and Sue keep neat.
Then why did it say going on a date? Maybe in the 50s or this is 49, date didn't necessarily have romantic connotations, like you're going on a date with someone, it just meant you're going out, I don't know.
And neatness is one of the fundamentals of grooming. So here's part of your big question, how do I look? Are my clothes neat and clean? Whether you do your own or achieve it by cooperative efforts, keep your clothes looking neat and
Or maybe they're the Lannisters. This is a Lannister situation.
clean.
And cleanliness and neatness
Or separate dates, sure.
apply to you as well as to your clothes. So after a cleansing,
Cupcake chaos, if she gets stuck in a dryer, I'm out. I understood that reference.
relaxing bath, that's a good daily habit. Sue
Can we talk about this? What is with the genre of adult films that involve people getting stuck in things? Things that it makes no sense for them to get stuck in. What is with that? Can we talk about this?
has a regular routine. And plan time, too, for the finishing touches. Doing your nails, brushing your hair, and
There's
so
nothing
on.
funny about the tools of capitalism.
Sue
MMO Addicted with 10 bits. They are proper Americans, keeping their bloodline extra pure, sponsored by the KKK Phrenology and Blood Purity Test.
avoids red nail polish since it would call attention to her stubby hands. A clear polish keeps her nails sparkling. Once a week, Sue gives herself a complete manicure. Then daily care of her nails is easy.
Elaborate, like stuck in an object. Like there are adult films where the premise is like there will be a individial, usually it will be a woman who is
nothing
doing
funny about the
something
tools
like
of
laundry, and she'll like stick her upper torso in a dryer, which is a weird way to get clothes from the dryer, but she does so, and then she acts like she's stuck, even though obviously she's not actually stuck. It'd be pretty difficult to be stuck in a dryer. The doors are huge. And then a male individual typically will come up behind them and things will ensue. And that is the premise of... There are variations. There are variations of this, but that's your standard. There's ones where people get like stuck in windows or dog doors or all sorts of weird stuff.
In the same way, regular shampoos and
A lot of Pooh Bear fans in porn.
Daily brushing keep her hair clean and glossy. And these finishing touches that add so much to Sue's cleanliness and neatness all fit into a simple schedule of daily activities. And now for at least 8 hours of sleep. Good health is the rule, for health is one of the foundations of your appearance.
There's another link. Let me look at it. A case of spring fever. Okay.
Leave some hot water for me. And hurry, I'll have to shave.
Again, this is I gotta stop.
All right, Don.
What to wear? The weather has something to do with your choice of clothes. But Don also thinks of other things. Most of his clothes are clean and pressed, so he's not as limited in selection. How about these slacks and this shirt? What do you think? How will
Where are their parents? I think they're supposed to be in college or something, maybe? I don't know. Maybe not.
Don look in this combination?
Let's hope he'll pay a little attention to patterns and colors.
How about this combination?
That's better. Now a tie to go with the outfit and Don's all set.
Why is he wearing a tie? I hate how formal, and I don't get this either, when there are like nerds who are like, people in this day and age have swag, people back in the 40s had class, and they'll show like, you know, someone out and about in their day-to-day wearing like a t-shirt or a hoodie or something and jeans, and then they'll compare it to someone in the 40s in like a full like 3-piece suit with a vest and a like a fedora, and it's just like, guys, no. I'm glad that style has become more casual over time. It's great. It's fantastic. People do not want to wear suits and like business dresses or like cocktail dresses constantly. Let us not push for wearing formal clothes all the time. If you want to wear formal clothes, that's great. I'm happy for you. Go do that. But like, most people don't want to do that when they're just going out to the store or whatever. MMO addicted with 10 bits. Don't wear that colorful shirt. It's too. Looks around for the propriety police. Gay. Someone might want to dilate your rectal muscles. Oh god. When this gets cut up on YouTube, the dilating thing is going to make no sense to anyone who didn't see the other part. A woman in college? Women went to college in the 50s. They went to go meet a man. At least from what I've seen from disgusting depictions of the 1950s.
Don is putting one more finishing touch to his appearance. A well-matched outfit of clothes. How will he look?
Good enough in that outfit.
I've also seen educational films we've watched on here before where there were women who were going to college for... There were a variety of things. Some of them were going for, like, fashion design and stuff like that. But some of them were also straight up going for, like, home economics degrees, just to learn how to, like, take care of a household and manage a household. So that was a thing.
And now another little habit of cleanliness and neatness. Dirt under your fingernails must be cleaned every day, and it's better in private.
All right, Don, you're next.
Now for a cleansing morning shower.
Meanwhile, Sue gives thought to the day. What will she wear?
There's nothing funny
That
about the
depends
tools
on her
of
activities, of course.
Overdressing helps with my anxiety. I used to rock a three-piece suit to my university and a pocket watch before the plague. Hey, whatever makes you happy.
For school, choose comfortable, not...
I'm just saying I don't like anyone in any form who tries to tell other people like how to dress in a non-formal setting. Like, I understand if you're going to an actual business meeting, then it would behoove you to dress appropriately, or a party that has like a black tie, requirement. Like, yes, but we're talking about, walking around, going to class, going to the store. People should be able to wear whatever they want as long as they're not like naked,
too dressy clothes.
And as long as they're wearing a mask, if we're talking about right now.
Perhaps a skirt and a blouse to go with it. But what about these two blouses? Which is more appropriate for school? Which goes with the skirt?
Fellows like to see girls dress up, but in general only for a special occasion.
Yes, choose clothes that are suitable to your needs and situation. But remember that any clothes look better with good posture. Now that her clothes are selected, Sue is ready to fix her hair.
Oh, God.
What to do with those curls she so carefully put in last night? It doesn't matter just what hairstyle you use, as long as it looks right on you. Upswept? Loosely over the shoulders. Just be sure your hairdo suits you and that your hair is neatly in place.
And here's something else for your appearance. Eat a hearty, balanced breakfast. There's nothing like wholesome food to help keep you in good health.
What is with this obsession? Stop telling people to drink so much milk. People do not need this. People don't need any milk once they're adults, but they certainly don't need this much if you're gonna drink milk.
And that means a clearer complexion.
I think everything we've watched today, except for the game show, has involved telling people to drink milk.
Shining eyes, glossy hair.
In short, that means a better appearance. Don's all set to look right at school, isn't he?
Mother, too, keeps a good appearance, even around the house, for that keeps up her spirit.
Did the game show did talk about milk. They had the ad for the powdered milk. Every single thing we've watched today, and we've been going for almost 2 hours, has involved telling Americans to drink more whole milk. What the heck? Or some sort of milk.
And Father dresses according to his work, relying on cleanliness and neatness as the foundations of
He works at a factory that makes those signs that say whites only.
his appearance. So, for each individual,
It's 1949, guys. Someone had to make those signs.
the finishing touches of appearance may be his or hers alone, suited to individual needs, actions, ideas.
After breakfast, Sue goes back to her room for some finishing touches. Her makeup. Her powder is one that blends with her natural coloring. She pats it on lightly, then carefully smooths it over her face.
This is the most careless application of makeup I think I've ever seen. Blah, 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 blah.
And be careful when it comes to lipstick.
Yes. Choose a shade that goes with your own coloring and sets off your clothes to advantage. Then, easy does it. Now smooth out gently and wipe off any excess to leave only a smooth film of color, following the lines of your own lips. And finally, a last-minute once-over in the mirror. Make sure your hemline is even.
I don't know, addicted with 10 bits. What do you expect, Hannah? A man directed it. No, just dab it like this. I imagine the makeup in the 50s was quite a bit different, too. I don't know what it was like.
Don't let your slip.
I barely understand makeup today. I'm not very good at it. So I'm not the person to talk to about makeup from the 50s.
Show.
Come on, we'll be late. Oh, boy, at the mirror again.
Tucker White 94 with 10 bits. Here's a 50s PSA on making a sandwich with some good old family sexism. We've actually watched that one before. I've seen the making a sandwich PSA.
Well, the mirror could help you check your clothes, too.
Which is weird, too, because, like, do you need to explain how to someone to make a sandwich? I think that's pretty intuitive if you know what a sandwich is. You get some bread and you put some stuff in it. Like, it's not an art form.
And improve
Sorry to all the John Doyle, famous Subway sandwich artist. I do apologize to you.
your posture.
Oh, Chazika, thanks. And I could straighten up, couldn't I?
People looked older back then. I've seen photos of movie stars, and it will say where they're 20 years old and they look 40. I actually have an explanation for that, because we've talked before. Hans Wormhat, conspiracy theorist on YouTube, who I really enjoy covering, has this conspiracy that time is moving faster, which is why people back in the day, or time is moving slower or something, I don't know. Time has changed some way, it's dilating, and the reason people looked older back in the day is because they actually lived through more time, so time would have to be speeding up for it to be different. Of course, this is ridiculous for a number of reasons, but the actual reasons are multifold. First of all, the people who were actors and actresses back in the day, what people found, I don't even know if I'd say what people found attractive, because people are attracted to all sorts of different things, but the cultural idea of what was an attractive man was an older-looking, mature-looking man, someone who looked like Charlton Heston, right? Whereas I'd say nowadays, when you're looking at the younger crowd, and you're looking for what they think is an attractive man in his 20s, he's gonna look a little more boyish, he's probably gonna have, you know, some more youthful, let's say. Like, even back, you know, when I was in high school, like Justin Bieber, you know what I mean? Justin Bieber does not look like Charlton Heston. The cultural zeitgeist on what is attractive to people is different, and what is considered normal for a pop star or a movie star or whatever. Twinkie. Yeah, a little more Twinkie would be a way to explain it. But there's that. Also, people smoked back in the day. They drank a lot. They smoked a lot. They are having hairstyles and clothes that we would
There's nothing funny about
associate with older people today, because people at a certain point in their life tend to, and this is different, I think, nowadays, but for a long period of time, after a certain point, you'd probably have the same hairdo for the rest of your life, or at least a very similar hairdo. So people who were like in our 90s, or were in their 90s when we were younger, probably had the same hairdo that they had in the 50s, or a hairdo from the 50s. So we associate those styles with old people, so when we see them on younger people, we still see them as older. But there's a variety of reasons. I don't know. Tucker White 94, the truly attractive men today are the femboys. True. Tucker White 94, take two. Here's the 1950s PSA on housework that's sexist to both men and women. Okay. Cue that up.
Well, let's hurry, or we'll be late.
Cultivate.
Like, these two, I think, actually look their age. Like, that guy looks like he's, you know, maybe an 18-year-old or something. Maybe 19, maybe 20 at the latest. I don't know.
Such habits as cleanliness.
And I don't think he looks that different than, like, an in-shape 18, 19-year-old today. MMO Addicted. Hey, my cheesesteak sandwiches today are an art. I made them by using black oxen beef. I sauteed the onions and peppered in whiskey with small dash of honey until they were delectable. I covered it with SME grated cheddar. I don't know what SME is. And I smeared the bread with sweet chili jam before plating. It was divine. I'm sure your sandwich was very good.
Cleanliness and neatness, so you'll be well groomed.
For all through the day, others are looking at you. Your mirror tells you what others see. How do you look? How does Sue look?
How does Don look?
Health, posture, cleanliness, neatness. These grooming habits form the basis of a good appearance and a well-planned outfit of clothes, well cared for hands and nails, light touches of makeup, a becoming hairdo.
Oh, Sue, where are you?
In my room, Don.
Joe called. He said he'd be a little late. Say, do you look smooth?
Well, thank you, sir. You look mighty elegant yourself.
Uh-oh, this is where we came in.
And this is where Don and Sue go out for a pleasant evening. Their good grooming habits help them in friendships and in business. For your success depends a great deal on how you look.
Okay. Just basically, formal dress all the time. But whatever. It calls attention to her stubby hands. I missed that part. Anyway. That's enough of that.